So hi guys, Quincy Narip here once again. Um, with this video, I'd just like to let you guys know how I came about the path of Jesus Christ and how Jesus Christ also basically chose me. So I'll start off by saying this. The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 21 says, the plans of a man are of his own, but the counsel of the Lord that shall be established. Meaning that a man has his own plans in his mind, but if his plans are not aligned with the will of Jesus Christ for himself, then his personal plans are never gonna work, and the ones of Jesus Christ is always gonna prevail. Having said that, as an introduction, I'd just like to get into when and how I really started acknowledging that I was called by Jesus Christ in order to help the youth, in order to motivate, and also speak to all parties, man. You understand? So then it starts like this. I was 21 years old. Just completed my school. I completed a bit late. My grade 12 I finished with 20 years of age, and then I moved to Windhoek for a while, just helped out at a restaurant, and then I moved back to Okahanja because I used to live alone back when I was grade 12. My parents were already divorced and we sold our Swakop house, and I decided to stay in Swakop. And then when my parents moved to Windhoek, and my dad and my mom to Okahanja because we also had a home there and also a home in Warfish Bay. So when they moved, I completed my school, stayed for one more year, completed my grade 12, and then came to Windhoek, stayed by my dad's mom's house, my grandmother, and then worked for like 7, 8 months and moved to Okahanja towards my mom because I was still young, wild, and free a bit, you know. So I turned 21 obviously in that year, and I made a recording on the day I turned 21. There was no party, there was no 21st key or anything like that, but I think I gave myself the most important message of my entire life then. I was still naughty, very much a sinner. I smoked a lot of weed. I used to drink occasionally, but then the drinking got worse later on. But, anyways, I made a recording on the phone that I lost. And in the recording, I said, I, the good part about this is I still remember what I said to myself, so because it was me saying it. So I said in the recording that doesn't matter what I go through, but by the age of 27, I will then wholeheartedly and fully dedicate and give and submit my life to Jesus Christ. And so after a while, I moved again on my own to Wolfish Bay because my mother also has a house there. It's her mom's houses that she also just kind of took over because my grandmother, her mother lives by the farm, just also a couple of kilometers outside of Wolfish Bay, where her mom, my grandmother's mother, told her to go resettle after she turned 60. So my grandmother was obedient and then resettled that side and gave over the township houses to my mom to be responsible for. But then, in any case, I moved towards Wolfish Bay on my own, started like doing the rentals, responsible for receiving rent income and all that, doing something for myself, sending the rest to my mom and all that. But then I turned 22, and around me turning 23, I got a job at Cash Crusaders. Before or after I turned 23, that don't remember that part really well. But then again, I worked at Cash Crusaders for as much as I can remember. And before that as well, I was 22 when I met my daughter's mother. I have a very beautiful daughter. Her name is Amara Skyler Shifako. Her mother's surname, not mine though, because we were not married. And anyways, I'm still getting to that. So after we met, I worked for Cash Crusaders. We were dating, and then later on, after a year or so, she fell pregnant. you know, and I had obviously long forgotten about the recording I had made, and then I started fumbling with life, started getting a big head because of the income I'm making. I was promoted later on around 25, 24. After, right before my daughter was born, I was promoted. I was 24 years old at the time. And then, I started behaving differently after the birth of my daughter. So, and I, I lost my morals, my moral compass went a little bit sidetracked already then. And then later, money started getting to me, and I thought maybe it's better I sell my soul to the devil and all that. I started joining groups, not groups, but a group of a satanic fraternity. I didn't really join as a member yet, but I was on my way being initiated into it. It's an American group, but they have like an headquarters in I forgot the country's name, but if it's not Malaysia, it's the one that starts with a C. I'm not really sure which one it is. But then, anyways, it doesn't really matter. The thing is that I was told to pay an entrance fee and all that, and to the Americans were basically recruiting me, and a lot of their brotherhood members were congratulating me for joining. I had to say some satanic codes, speaking, you know, unfamiliar languages, say some words that they are telling me to repeat and all that. But all that happened via the phone, via WhatsApp. I never really met with them, any one of them, but they knew my face. They asked to also send them a picture of my full body nakedly. So I had to take a picture of myself naked and send it to them. I did all of that, and I'm not really proud of what I did, but it's better I speak about these things so that the next one can also know, and so that you guys can avoid. Jesus really is the way, the truth, and the life, guys. There's no other way about it. If you want freedom in this life and the life hereafter, I'm telling you, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Imagine Jesus died for all of us, knowing that not all of us will make it to heaven. So imagine how much he feels bad of our wrong choices, man. So what I'm trying to say here is, I was welcomed into the fraternity. I was told to pay a certain fee, 5,600 Namibian dollars, but I had to pay it into Western Union to them. That I didn't do, because I really started getting scared of. They were apparently gonna pay me $70,000 per week. I did have the money to join, or to get myself completely into the registration process or get done with it. But then I just started becoming a bit more skeptical, and I decided not to send the money, and I did something else with the cash. And later on, I blocked them. I got rid of that number. It was 081482279. That was the old number I used to use. And then I destroyed that card, I threw it away and all that. And by the way, the guys that were contacting me, they're the fraternity's brotherhood members. All of their numbers were having a 666 inside of it. So this wasn't a joke. I was really about to join the Illuminati, guys, for fame and for fortune and for dying before my time. So my auntie, after that, my daughter was born. I was a dad to her, you know, but things just really spiritually started not making sense to me. I was really still after money. I started cheating on my daughter's mother with a girl, um, whose name I won't mention. I just almost did, but yeah. Um, we started having affairs, and my daughter's mother called me, and later on I resigned from Cash Crusaders, moved to Swakop, slept in a sitting room. I stole money from Cash Crusaders, also $26,000. These are all things that I'm not proud of, to be honest. And then I moved to Swakop and did my silly. I bought a car. The car was crap, and then I sold it later on again, afraid or paranoid that police will catch me and stuff like that because of theft. But I was never, reported to the police or anything like that. So later on, I moved to Windhoek to come better myself with real estate, and that was 2022. I was 26 by then now. So I moved to Windhoek, 2 years out of a job. The second year out of a job, my daughter was already 1 year old, and I'm here in Windhoek, and I got my real estate certificate. 26-year-old now. So remember that why I made this, why I'm making this recording is to tell you how I gave my life to Jesus Christ and how I am a chosen one by Jesus Christ. Because remember, many were called, but a few were chosen. So I then, I then got my real estate certificate, did marketing for a company named International Housing Solutions. It's a South African company that has a lot of shareholders, a lot of members and all that, and they have a lot of complexes here in Namibia. They have three here in Windhoek, one in Ochomise called the Ochomise Lifestyle Estate, two in Komagdal, Commerce Valley and Commerce Hills, and they have Pelican View in Wolfish Bay. They have Mondesa View in Swakopmund, and Oshakati. They also have the the something I forgot that one's name, but in Wolfish Bay they also have the Konkomo village. So, but I joined the company, did marketing here in Windhoek with them. They gave me a nice position. They sent me back to Wolfish Bay. My boss knew that I was so in love with my daughter's mother. But also before going back, just a month before going back to Wolfish Bay, my daughter's mother and I, it was a small matter that I exaggerated and I ignored her, you know. And then I went back to Wolfish Bay and I ignored her for a month though. So got back to Wolfish Bay, started the job, had two offices. I was a floating agent between Mondesa View in Swakopmund, my birthplace, and Wolfish Bay, my daughter's birthplace at Pelican View. I used to sit at the office of Wolfish Bay. So, and yeah, man, I was working, things were going well, but I was trying to get back with my daughter's mother. I was getting paranoid because I really wanted to get married to her and all that, and I was afraid of what I did. Maybe she thought that I'm with another girl here in Windhoek. That could be the only reason I would have been ignoring her. Sorry, there's a fly here that's trying to get into the shot as well. So I guess I have a partner who wants to come tell my story. But by the way, guys, and so she was pushing me away because of my abusive behavior. By the way, I used to, beat her, not badly though, but it doesn't matter how much you beat a woman, man. You don't have any right, guys, gentlemen, to touch a woman. And these are all the lessons that I had to learn the hard way, man. I started calling myself the tough guy, not because I'm tough and strong and all that, but just because I like going through the rough patches. I think I like the hard way. Not because I want to. I think it's by default. And so she was afraid of me later on, and she was pushing me away. But also at the time, she was, I guess, seeing somebody that she is currently dating now. Because after we broke up, man, long story short, after we broke up, she started seeing this guy. I caught them on New Year's Eve 2023, basically beginning of this year. That's how my year started, 2023. That's how it started. 15 minutes into the year, I came to her house just to come say Happy New Year to her and tell her that I hope that we're gonna still fix things and all that. But then coming into a street, she was standing in front of her house, facing the outside. The fireworks were just also past being shot or whatever. And when I was staring at her in excitement and also in questioning myself, like, why is she outside? What is she doing? She's alone. And then I looked across the street and here comes another dude. So then she saw me and ran into the house, and the dude followed in. They quickly locked the door, and I went just by the garage, because it's all of them. The front door plus the garage is just right next to each other. So the mom and stepfather have a church at home. So I just went and peeked by the garage and told the mom, no, I'm here for your daughter. And she said she's not here. And I was like, no, but why are you lying? I just saw her walking in. You know, this is where it gets really dramatic, guys. I mean, sometimes I don't believe I went through it, you know. And so they went in. The stepfather stood up. The pastor stood up and went in to go call his stepdaughter, my daughter's mother. And I was a bit agitated, man. I was in shock, and I was like not expecting what started happening. And so I also rushed in through the garage, just into the house. And the new boyfriend, the current new boyfriend, and her was standing, and I was asking what's going on and all that. And the stepfather took me because he was irritated by my behavior and carried me out. That was very embarrassing. I think I don't know anymore because a part of me just feels like that had to happen, you know, because so I was carried out, you know, and I forced my way in again. I didn't care about him carrying me out. I wasn't afraid of him or anything. And I kept questioning. I walked up into the sitting room to the new boyfriend and I asked, are you the new boyfriend? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to argue with you. I'm going to argue with you. And then I turned to her and I was like, is this the new guy? And she was like, yes, yes. And then, you know, the stepfather carried me out again, and I went by the window, banging on the window, and I was like calling her name and screaming and feeling so much embarrassment, pain, and everything that is not nice at the same time. And you know, it was a crush of my ego and my pride. I'm not saying it's you know what a man exists of, but I'm saying men are full of pride, men are egoistic a little, you know, just like a lion, I guess. But then, in any case, uh, after banging, they took each other into the room, and I was like, so this guy already comes here, so this has been maybe. I think that they started doing whatever they were doing when I was into getting my real estate certificate, man. So, guys, doesn't matter how much of a good person you think your partner is, whether male or female, please expect them to disappoint you, whether it's a little or whether it's gonna be like a huge disappointment, maybe marriage, a divorce, or maybe dating breakups. Because people are not, you know, Jesus. We put people at the place that we are supposed to be placing Jesus. You know, Jesus, not a pedestal. We put people on a pedestal, but I always say there shouldn't be a pedestal in your mind about somebody. There should be a throne where Jesus should be sitting permanently, you know, so that you don't have any disappointments of other people. Because I'm telling you, Jesus will never disappoint you, period. So, anyways, I think she was tired of what I put her through, and she bursted also that night. She came outside and confronted me in front of her two aunties, and then I went home, and you know, after a month, I went home, and then in those 2 3 weeks that I was at home, going through pain and embarrassment, because my daughter was also in the sitting room crying the time I was confronting them, and the time that I was carried out so harassfully by her stepfather. So my daughter saw all that. She was crying. She's 3 years old now currently, but she was 2 years old at the time, you know. And what do I want to say? So um, I went home, and then after a while I came back, and I was drinking non-stop, man. I was going through it. By the way, when my daughter's mother came, before the whole drama scene there, a week prior to that, she was already by the new boyfriend's house, and I was coming to come get my daughter from the new boyfriend's house. I just thought maybe it's a female friend, not a male friend. That's how clever women are, man. You know. So I asked her, with whom are you? Where are you? She told me she's by a friend, and then I just presumed it's a woman or a girl. I took my daughter, went back home. 4 days or 5 days after, she came so that we can make peace. But I saw a love bite on her neck, man. You know. And then I slapped her because I know how she looks. We've been dating for 3 years, 2 years, whatever. We've been dating for a while. I mean, I know my person, right? So I slapped her, which was wrong. I'll keep saying it, guys. You don't touch a woman, period. So she went out again, and then she probably just also took it as this guy will never change. He will always keep on abusing me, which is true. I could have maybe ended up killing her. One never knows that Jesus could be helping you out of a situation that you are forcing yourself to be inside of, man. So let people go, because right after letting her go, I got my driver's license. Now I'm done registering my business. Elohim's Eternal. When she fell pregnant with my daughter, the day that I got the phone call that she's pregnant with my daughter, I was sitting down and drawing the logo of my company, which you guys will obviously see on my YouTube channel, E&E with a crown on top of it, Elohim's Eternal, and I was calling my company Eternal Enterprises. But then this year, a while ago, few months before I started registering, Jesus was telling me straightforward, like in my ear, he was just talking to me. He was telling me, register it as Elohim's Eternal. He gave me his name and he said, register it as me, as my name, as my company. And you are just the trustee, the vessel that works in the flesh with the people. And I also keep on telling the guys who are gonna join me, who are gonna work with me, I'm not the boss, I'm not the owner of the company. It's just paperwork that says that, but spiritually, Jesus Christ is the owner and the boss of the company. You don't call me boss. I have 20 people lined up to start working for me, 8 cleaners and 12 security guards, because I'm starting. It's an investments company. There's a lot of miscellaneous things, but that I'll talk about later. The point that you need to take from this is I registered the company of Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ is the owner, he's the boss. I'm going to be working for him. I already am working for him, because from next year I'm not going to be having any bosses. I'm not going to work for anybody but Elohim's Eternal, meaning I'm going to work for Jesus Christ directly, spreading his word through business operations. So back to the script, man. So yeah, after that laugh bite, everything made sense after the whole drama scene that happened at my daughter's mother's house, my baby mama's house, whatever. And then I realized, oh, so she was already seeing this guy, because after that I went and I felt humiliated, and I was lying down in an empty room, in the room, because I had moved back to Wolfish Bay, so I didn't have any furniture. I had to start over. After Cash Crusaders, I sold all my furniture, and so what happened, it was, by the time I was 23, while I was starting fresh working for Cash Crusaders, I painted with a brush on the top of my door, Jesus is the way. You understand? And so lying down in that empty room, just looking at the closed door, like from inside, closing my room door, waking up in the morning, that's all I saw. Jesus is the way. And I was asking myself, what's going on with me? 26 years old. What's going on with me? The year just started and it started this way. What's going on with me? Why, Jesus, why did you allow this to happen to me? And so time passed, man. Time passed. Everything went loco, like the Mexicans say. Everything went crazy, and I was drinking more. I never really was an alcoholic, but I'm telling you, I was drinking. And they moved into a flat together. Also, women change, guys, when they start making money. Doesn't matter whether you guys have been together for so many years. Women forget, because I used to pay rent when I was working, man. I used to, I thought that this is my partner for life, but I'm telling you, Jesus has got a wife for me whom I don't even know yet, because I need to be in perfect alignment with his will, and then everything, like the book of Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and then all shall be given unto you. So I held it down, man, and I was asking Jesus, why did I go through this? Why am I going through? I also, guys, the most important thing that I'm not saying here is I started losing my mind. I went to my daughter's mother's house before they moved in together. I threw a brick inside of the room that my daughter and her are sleeping in. So imagine, I could have hurt my child, I could have hurt her, I could have been in jail for like life and stuff. But luckily, that brick didn't touch them, didn't touch anybody. And so, yeah, the police looked for me. I was in custody. My daughter's mother withdrew the case. I think the Spirit of the Lord also touched her and told her that you're not going to keep your daughter's father in prison, because maybe, I don't know the discussion they had, but I'm sure Jesus spoke to her, because any other female would have sent me to jail, period. And she went back to withdraw the case. She did, but also the government didn't want that, or the social workers, or the the prosecutors didn't want her to withdraw the case because it was a serious case, you know. But we thank God. I spent 2 nights in prison. I came out. It wasn't my only time in prison though, but every time it was like the fifth time. But every time I went to prison or to custody, it was only 2 days and stuff like that. So after that, I went home feeling embarrassed, and after that, they also that was till like in January, end of January, they moved in together with one another, and I was like, what? With my daughter as well. So drinking, going around with the guys drinking. No, I even left my job, man, and ran to Katima Molilo, just to my aunt's place to go calm down a bit. But it didn't work because I was in pain, I was embarrassed, I was frustrated, I was hurt. Damn, I went through it, guys. I'm not joking with you. So then, after coming back from Katima Mulilo, the people are staying together and all that. People are renting together, and I went there once drunk, out of my mind, drunk out of my mind, man. Come on, man. You know what alcohol does to you. You know already. I went there looking for where they stay, you know, and I went inside of the room. I started blabbering, and the boyfriend, I don't know, I don't remember, started chasing me. The mother and everybody came to their flat, and the boyfriend started chasing me. There is a video. I'm really looking for that video to later on share it on my channel as well, so that the rest of you can also see what I'm talking about, you know. And the guy chased me, and beat me up. He was sitting on top of my chest. He was beating my face as if it was like, you know, flour that he's trying to make some nice baking dough out of or something like that. Because I insulted his mother, apparently, that's what I heard. And I don't even remember him beating me. All that I saw was the video, and then I was very upset. And the next 2 3 days after that, I went back to that same street to go meet him and her, to go. But I was not going to go confront them negatively because I was sober, and I really am a good guy. You know, Jesus really gave me a good heart, and I'm not saying that out of my own um, to toot my own horn, but I'm saying that because I've studied myself. I really know and understand myself now, you know, better than before. So after going there, I met him. She wasn't there. She was at work or something. My daughter was, I don't know where, you know, because it was this. This is the year that I really didn't see my daughters ever since last year. Plus this year, I haven't really spent time with my daughter, man. You know, it doesn't hurt me anymore. It's like in the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 29. Jesus says that they that have forsaken their households, their mothers, their fathers, their daughters, their sons, their wives, and their husbands, and their families, to go do my work and to go seek my will, they shall inherit the earth and the kingdom of God. So I think because of reading the Bible, everything started making sense to me. But what I'm trying to say here is it was difficult for me before because I didn't understand. Now I was like asking Jesus, why am I going through? That night I was also in custody because they chased me after beating me. You know, the police came driving in the street. I was took onto the police vehicle, and I was in custody. They didn't open a case. In the morning I was released so that I could just sober up. I was released. I went home. I got a $1,000 fine. So imagine I was beaten up. I was embarrassed, you know, and then I got a fine on top of that. So, yeah, man. And then I didn't, you know, after going back to him, I wasn't trying to hurt him or anything. I was just looking for a way to calm the situation. And but I guess it was too soon. But then he threatened me again, and I told him, my friend, if you think that this you are strong, or you got me right, let's try it again. Because I was drunk, and this time I'm gonna show you, my friend. I'm gonna take your life with my 2 hands. I said a lot of things, and I meant it, man, because I didn't want him to threaten me ever again in his life. And then he realized, and then he calmed down, he cooled off. You know, he respected me. He laughed at me a bit as well in my face, because not really in my face, but you know, he was smirking and all that, because I mean, it's funny, man. Look at this guy. He lost his partner. He's losing custody over his daughter. He's losing a way to see his daughter. People don't respect him anymore. You know, it was embarrassing, but I kept on going back to my room, lying down in an empty room, with a print that says Jesus is the way, and I'm asking Jesus, Jesus, why am I going through all of this? And nice part is I was never suicidal in my life because I grew up with the word of God, man. My parents, really were enrooted in Jesus. They brought us up with the word of Jesus Christ. And then I asked Jesus, now, why did I go through this? Why am I going through this? Why was I so embarrassed? Jesus said to me, listen, it was not because of you. Never was. Your life is not because of you. Your life in the first place is because of me, for you to worship me, for you to give thanks to me, and for you to spread my word. That's why you exist. And all these things that happened to you, I allowed it because you need to go help the next guy who's gonna try to attempt killing somebody, killing his daughter's mother, his son's mother, or killing himself, or his whoever, or whoever the girlfriend or the boyfriend was seeing behind their backs. People are gonna hurt each other. And in my country, passion killing really has been going around for a while, not only in my country, in the whole entire world. And I think that I'm talented with music. You guys are gonna start seeing my music videos and my songs later on as we go. And Jesus told me, you need to go help the other people. You are my vessel, A lot of people were called, but only a few were chosen. You are a part of my chosen ones. And then Jesus also told me, I never intended you to go back to Warfish Bay. You were supposed to be in Vindu, where a lot of people are paying attention to Vindu because it's the capital city of Namibia. This is where the most opportunities are. Because imagine I've been here from July. That's when I realized, okay, I need to move out of Warfish Bay. I came to Windhoek not knowing where to go stay and whatever. And I went to a place which is in, it's in the racks. It's the shacks. You will see it on my previous video, the one that says the restart of Queens Narib at 27. You will see it on that video. Just search it, please. It's also in my channel. It's just the same thing. So I stay there. If you please make some time to go check it out, you will know what I'm talking about. I stay there in the Rex. It's called Okanja Park. The section I stay in is Babylon, and everything is so spiritual, man. Me thinking to myself, I'm in Babylon, and Jesus was like, right, because this is a parable of how I'm sending you to Babylon, just like I sent Jonas to Nineveh, so that you can go preach to my people. Because Windhoek is like the mic of Namibia, and the speakers are the townships and the whatever, the rural areas, the small towns or whatever. So Jesus was like, yeah, man, I intended you to be there so that you can make the music, so that you can blow up, so that you wanted to sell your soul for the same purposes as I created you, but you wanted to go in reverse while I'm putting you in the forward gears. So I was like, oh, okay, all of this is starting to make sense. But then, because of the heartbreak, it was like day 4 in Windhoek. I started the second day, the second and third day, I was crying a little, and asking Jesus, but how now? And then he gave me Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29 to verse 30. That says basically, in my own words, he gives strength to the weak, and it says that even the young men shall utterly fall, but him that waits on the Lord shall renew his strength, and he shall spread his wings like an eagle. He shall run and he shall not fall. That's what Isaiah chapter 40 verse 29 says. And then Isaiah chapter 41 verse 18 and 19 says, remember you not the former things, neither consider the things of the old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Shall you not see it? I will bring rivers to the desert and make ways in the wilderness. So that's what he told me on my second and third day of being in Windhoek. And I was like, wow, this is a very deep message, man. And so on the 4th day, I took up faith, I got up, and then I went looking for a job. On my 4th day of being in Windhoek, while people have been here for years and not worked, I got my job, my first job at Joe's Beer House as a chef and a runner. doing the grilling and getting the meats and everything in the fridges, bringing to the other chefs so that they can do their big orders and grilling maybe whatever, sending it to the waiters, sending it to the table, stuff like that. After that, the salary was not enough. Even people of that job were complaining, and then I thought to myself, I'm looking for another job. Got to another job uh, within that same month, but towards the end of the month, I didn't have a phone. I just told Jesus, I need a new job. When I got to work, I got off the bus, went to the new job, and asked them, when am I gonna start working? I came and gave you my CV. You guys took me to an interview directly. When are you gonna call me? Because actually, how are you gonna reach me? Because I don't have a phone, and I gave you my email address, but it's also gonna be difficult since I do not have a phone. Period. They told me you are very lucky. You are supposed to start today. I went back to my old job, resigned, came back and started. Imagine. After that, I got my driver's license, you know, in the month of October, and I worked there for 2 months, and then I resigned because people were starting to get jealous and all of that. But God has a bigger plan for me. God brought me to Windhoek not to be working for people, but to register my company, which I'm done with now. And now I'm on the part of buying uniform for the people who are going to be working with me, my colleagues. And so, um, what's this? Jesus took me after out of that because people started getting jealous when the bosses wanted to promote me to other levels and to driving and all that, because now I do have my license, the one for the trucks, C1. And then Jesus took me out of that. I resigned. 2 days I stayed at home. The first day, me at home, so calm, collected, and then the next day they phoned me, come get your money. Now I went to go get my $1,800. The next day I went around with that $1,800. I went to go cop me some swag because I like looking clean. I didn't have anything to eat or whatever. With the last coins I ate and drank, the next day I went around looking for a job. Landed one by Windhoek Airport Transfers. I've been working there, and then, but Jesus, even by my previous job, he told me, Jesus talks to me, guys, whether you believe this or not, but I'm sure there are going to be many more of you believing this rather than not. So Jesus told me, do you think you're going to be staying here for a long time? And I was like, baby, but it's a good job and I got my drivers and I'm going to be promoted. And he's like, no, I've got other plans with you, buddy. So I went over to Windhoek Airport Transfers, worked there for only 1 week and resigned. And now I'm working for another company again. But I'm also not going to stay there too long. You see how Jesus works? When you start living your life according to His will and not your own, that is going to lead you to dissolution and to death. So I took up my cross, man, and I'm following Jesus Christ. And that's all I want to tell you guys. Give your life to Jesus Christ. This year I lost 2 friends. Now on the 12th of December, I lost a